One day, in a village, someone leave two babies on the doors of a crutch. These babies are named Asta and Yuno. The priest who finds them initially thinks they might be brothers, but that turns out not to be the case because Yuno is very calm, while Asta is loud and noisy. In this world, magic exists, and everyone uses magic for their daily tasks. Fast forward 15 years. Asta has grown up and even proposes marriage to one of the sisters in the church. She rejects him, but Asta, refusing to give up, keeps persisting. Annoyed, the sister attacks him with her magic. The other children gather around, and just as Asta tries to charge at her again, Yuno stops him with his magic. This angers Asta, who yells at Yuno, but Yuno calmly tells him how he's always so loud. This only makes Asta angrier, but Yuno ignores him. Enraged, Asta challenges Yuno to a fight, attempting to use his magic. But in reality, Asta can't use magic at all, which is unheard of in this world where everyone has magic. Feeling defeated, Asta watches as Yuno dries his clothes instantly with his powerful wind magic, which makes Asta run away. Afterward, the sister advises Yuno to be nicer to Asta, which leads to a flashback of their childhood. Yuno used to cry a lot, but one day, after fighting alongside Asta, he stopped crying. The sister has never seen him cry since. However, Yuno refuses to be nicer to Asta, leaving the sister worried about what he's up to. Meanwhile, Asta is shown training under a skull, determined to become the Wizard King, working on his body to achieve this goal. A few months later, Asta, Yuno, and many other children their age go to a place where they will receive their grimoires. Grimoires are magical books containing powerful spells. Asta is very excited about getting one. As they arrive, some wealthy children mock Asta and Yuno, but then the master of the grimoire tower arrives and gives them a lecture. He casts a spell, causing all the grimoires to float in the air, each one choosing its owner. Everyone is excited as they receive their grimoires, but not everyone is happy since the grimoires aren't all the same. Asta, however, doesn't receive a grimoire at all, and he asks about it, only to be told by the master that he can try again next year. Hearing this, everyone laughs at Asta, but then Yuno's grimoire begins to shine, shocking everyone. It turns out that his grimoire was once held by the first Wizard King, and it's not only powerful, but also brings good luck. As Yuno receives his grimoire, he declares that he will become the Wizard King, causing a commotion. Hearing this, Asta declares that he will surpass Yuno because Yuno is his rival. Once again, everyone laughs at Asta, and Yuno ignores him as he walks away. But then, we see a villain watching them from the shadows. Feeling defeated, Asta goes outside, depressed, but he motivates himself by shouting that he will catch up to Yuno. Meanwhile, Yuno is attacked by the rich kids, who are angry at him. However, Yuno easily fends off their attacks without even using his grimoire. Frustrated, he lets his friend attack as well. But suddenly, many chains emerge from the wall and bind them there. At that moment, the villain appears and captures Yuno, taking his grimoire. Yuno asks why he's doing this, pointing out that a grimoire is useless without its owner. The villain replies that he knows, but he can sell it for a good price on the black market. He then threatens to kill Yuno. Just then, Asta arrives but crashes into the wall and falls down. Asta asks what's going on and demands the villain return Yuno's grimoire. The villain laughs and attacks Asta, but when he strikes, his chains fail to catch Asta, who attempts to counterattack. However, the chains eventually capture Asta, and the villain starts attacking him, leaving Asta badly injured. The villain mocks Asta for not having a grimoire, and when Asta tries to do something, he's unable to. At this moment, Yuno tells the villain that he cannot speak to Asta that way, and he tells Asta that he'll never become the Wizard King because Yuno will be the Wizard King, and Asta is his rival. Hearing this, Asta is motivated and grabs the villain's leg, telling him to get away and that he will defeat him. The villain, about to kill Asta, suddenly stops as a grimoire appears. From the grimoire, a sword emerges, surprising the villain, who cannot comprehend what's happening. We learn that each grimoire has a specific number of clovers on it. 3 clovers are common, 4-leaf clovers are lucky, but 5-leaf clovers belong to the devil. Seeing this, Yuno becomes happy. Then, we flash back to 5 years ago where Yuno and Asta were close friends. One day, when Yuno is about to cry, Asta reassures him, saying there's no need to worry because he's with him. In their childhood, a sister told them about a large skull in their village, explaining how a giant monster once wreaked havoc on their world and was defeated by a Wizard King, saving the world. When Asta asks the sister if the Wizard King still exists, she replies that the title has been passed down through generations, and it's because of the Wizard King that their world is peaceful. Hearing this, Asta decides that he will become the next Wizard King. However, when he tries to use magic, nothing happens, which disappoints him. Later, when the father assigns him a task, Asta eagerly raises his hand to do it, but the father asks Yuno instead because it's very important. When Asta asks to do it, Yuno refuses and walks away. We then see a drunkard who gets thrown out of a place because he has no money. When Yuno passes by, the drunkard notices his locket. Yuno hands a letter to someone and starts to leave, but the man follows him. Back at home, Yuno is late, and everyone starts to worry. Meanwhile, the drunkard robs Yuno of his locket and begins to beat him. Yuno is powerless and starts crying, but then Asta arrives and fights the large man for Yuno's locket. Asta takes a beating too, but he keeps fighting and doesn't give up. When Asta becomes very angry, the man, frightened by Asta's determination, hands him the locket and leaves. After the man leaves, Asta collapses on the ground. We then return to the present, where the villain, furious upon seeing Asta's new grimoire, attacks him. However, Asta uses his sword to cut through the villain's chains, leaving the villain confused. Asta then strikes the villain down with a single blow. After defeating him, Asta proudly shows Yuno the grimoire, and Yuno is happy, acknowledging that Asta has saved him once again. Yuno reminds Asta that he is his rival and that one day he will surpass him. Both of them, despite being poor, decide to become the Wizard King and change their future and that of their families. They vow to fight to see who will become the Wizard King. We then see a glimpse of the current Wizard King and learn that there are 9 groups led by powerful mages who protect the world. Asta continues his intense exercise routine, this time with his new sword, determined to become powerful quickly. Yuno also keeps training his magic, knowing they both must work hard. When the Grimoire Master tells Father that Asta should be sent to take the selection exam, Father is confused and asks if Asta has a chance. Father is hesitant and tells the Master that Asta might not be ready, but the Master teases him, saying he knows Father will miss Asta. Embarrassed, Father denies it, but eventually agrees, hoping Asta will return safely. When Father asks about Asta's grimoire, the Master says he knows nothing about it. Yuno and Asta continue to compete with each other, and when Asta is training again, Yuno's cousin Yes arrives and says he doesn't believe poor people like them can achieve anything. Asta strongly disagrees, telling him not to give up and decides that he will become the Wizard King no matter what. That night, Father serves them a special meal since they are leaving the next day. Asta is thrilled, but Father tells him the meal is for Yuno because they believe Yuno will succeed. Father then tells Asta that no matter what happens, this home will always be his, and he can return anytime. They all enjoy the meal together. The next morning, as Yuno and Asta prepare to leave, everyone tells them they will miss them and to be sure to come back. Yes tells Asta that he will be back very soon, so it's no big deal. Yes then tells Asta that if he can join the Magic Knights, only then will he believe Asta can accomplish something. After saying their goodbyes, Yuno and Asta begin their journey, with Asta excitedly running ahead. His dream is to become the Wizard King and return to propose to Sister Lily. As they run, they soon get tired, but Asta refuses to give up and keeps going. They continue their journey, eating and sleeping along the way. After a few days, they finally see the capital city in the distance, and Asta is overjoyed, running toward it. Upon reaching the city, they are both thrilled, amazed by everything around them, and struck by how expensive everything is. They eventually arrive at the stadium, where the townspeople wish them good luck for their exam. When Yuno steps forward to register, everyone starts talking about him after seeing his grimoire. Then it's Asta's turn, and when he shows his grimoire, the people ask if it's really a grimoire. Despite their skepticism, they let him enter. Once inside, the candidates are swarmed by birds, which are said to be attracted to those with lower magic power. As the others notice that no birds are approaching them, Asta suddenly arrives and challenges them. But everyone is puzzled because Asta is surrounded by a large number of birds. While Asta tries to avoid the birds, he accidentally bumps into a very intimidating man. Asta, trying to be friendly, tells the man that he looks quite scary for someone about to take the exam. Angered, the man grabs Asta with one hand and lifts him. At that moment, some people intervene, and it is revealed that the man is actually a squad captain. The others are confused as to why he's there. This man is Yami, the captain of the Black Bulls, a squad known more for its bad reputation than its achievements. The Black Bulls are filled with odd people, and no one wants to join them. Just as Asta is about to try something, fireworks go off, signaling the start of the exam. So Yami lets Asta go and leaves. After Yami leaves, Asta is approached by a guy named Seek. Then, all the squad captains arrive, and we get to see them one by one. There's Noelle Silva, the captain of the Silver Eagles, with his distinct hairstyle. Figolian Vermilion, captain of the Crimson Lion Kings. Jack the Ripper, captain of the Green Praying Mantis. Charlotte Roselay, captain of the Blue Rose. Geldra Poiset, captain of the Purple Orcus. Dorothy Unsworth, captain of the Coral Peacocks. Real Boys Mortier, captain of the Aqua Deer. And the strongest squad, the Golden Dawn, led by Captain William Vengeance. All the new students want to join the Golden Dawn. We've already met the captain of the Black Bulls. When Asta sees the Wizard King, Seek tells him that the king won't be coming. Then, William uses his magic to create large brooms for everyone to fly on and explains that they will undergo several tests. The captains will observe their abilities and decide if they want to recruit them for their squads. If more than one captain is interested, the candidate can choose which squad to join, but if no one selects them, they'll have to leave. William then instructs them to start flying on their brooms. While some people manage to fly, Yuno easily soars through the air. However, Asta can't fly at all, even with Seek's help. As the tests progress, a girl steps forward for her turn, but Captain Noelle stops her, saying that royals don't need to take the test. However, Noelle doesn't seem happy about it because the girl is his younger sister. The tests continue, with one person after another demonstrating their skills. Asta, however, is unable to do anything because he has no magic power. Finally, the last test involves facing off against an opponent and making them surrender. Asta is worried because he failed all the previous tests. He considers challenging the strongest candidate, but Seek steps forward to fight him instead, which makes Asta happy. As they prepare to fight, Seek reveals his true nature. When Seek acted so friendly towards Asta, it was actually because he thought he could easily defeat him due to Asta's lack of power, thereby impressing all the captains. As soon as their fight begins, Seek surrounds himself with a barrier that can both defend and attack simultaneously. Confident that he would win, Seek is shocked when Asta defeats him with a single strike from his sword. Asta declares that he's not there for fun. He has a much bigger goal. Watching Asta defeat Seek, everyone is stunned, and when people start making fun of Asta, he becomes very angry. Meanwhile, Yami's squad members discuss Asta, and Yami mentions that he sensed Asta had no magic power. As other examinees continue fighting, Asta becomes excited. At one point, Yuno is approached by a wealthy guy who challenges him to a fight. They head to the battleground, and the rich guy, confident in his strong magic, thinks he can easily win. However, Yuno isn't just any ordinary person. When the guy attacks, Yuno counters with his wind magic, using the guy's own power against him, defeating him effortlessly. The captains are impressed by Yuno's skills. After the fights conclude, the captains begin selecting candidates. One by one, examinees are called up, but most are rejected, causing concern among the others. A few are selected, and then it's Yuno's turn. To everyone's amazement, all the captains raise their hands to recruit him. Asta is thrilled for Yuno, but now Yuno has to choose which squad to join. Yuno chooses the strongest squad, the Golden Dawn. When it's Asta's turn, no one raises their hand, leaving him disappointed. As Asta grows angry, Yami tells him that despite how well he fought, none of the captains want to recruit him because his power is unusual. Yami adds that they're there to select candidates based on magic power, and Asta's abilities don't fit that mold. Then Yami approaches Asta directly, telling him that he sensed Asta has no magic power. Yami laughs when Asta declares that he will become the Wizard King even if no one selects him. Impressed by Asta's determination, Yami offers him a spot in his squad, the Black Bulls. Yami warns Asta that he can't refuse and that the training will be tough, but it's the path to becoming the Wizard King. Asta, overjoyed, eagerly accepts. After the selections, Asta urgently needs to go to the bathroom because he ate something bad earlier. Just then, Seek, angry because he ended up in a lower-ranked squad due to Asta, shows up to teach him a lesson. Seek attacks with a poisonous laser, but Yuno intervenes, stopping Seek and warning him to stay away from Asta. Yuno orders Seek to leave, and when Asta finally emerges, he's unaware of what just happened. Since Asta was delayed, Yami gets angry. Finral then opens a portal for them to leave, and Yami throws Asta through it. Asta finds himself at the Black Bull's hideout, and he's excited by what he sees. As he eagerly approaches the entrance, a bomb suddenly explodes, sending him flying. Yami laughs and says this is the Black Bull's squad's way of welcoming him to the team. After that, Asta goes inside and sees his squad members. Two guys are fighting, one lady is drunk, another is busy eating, and one is obsessed with praising his sleeping sister. There's even someone whose face can't be seen. Seeing all this, Asta gets scared of them. When he tries to introduce himself, no one listens, as they're all busy in their own fights. Frustrated, Yami breaks down the door and calls everyone, making them notice Asta. They all gather around him, bombarding him with their own conversations. Asta, angry, tells him to be quiet. Yami then introduces Asta to the squad members. First to Gordon, who is a bit strange, then to Vanessa, who is quite open and free-spirited. Next is Luck, who is always ready to fight, then Gauche, who is overly attached to his sister, followed by Charmy, who is busy eating, and finally Gray, who doesn't speak much. Lastly, Magna is introduced. Yami mentions that there are others who are out on missions or somewhere else. Yami then tells the group to get Asta a proper workout. Magna gets excited and asks Asta if he wants a squad robe. Asta is thrilled, but Magna tells him he has to earn it by passing a test. Their house, which had been damaged earlier, is magically restored, and everyone goes outside to watch the fight. Magna sets up a challenge, which Asta completes easily since he's physically strong. When Asta asks for the robe afterward, Magna tells him the test isn't over yet. He has to dodge or block his magic attack to earn the robe. Asta agrees, and Magna, ready to go, starts throwing fireballs at him, which Asta dodges. Then Magna unleashes a more powerful attack. As it gets close, Asta thinks he's done since it's too fast to block. But his body reacts on its own, and he uses his sword to deflect the attack back at Magna. Yami, impressed, takes more interest in Asta. After the fight, Magna approaches Asta angrily, but then says it was amazing. When Asta explains that he has no magic power, Magna becomes even more excited. Seeing this, the rest of the squad praises Asta, and Magna finally gives him his robe, making Asta emotional. Vanessa then uses her magic to put the squad sticker on Asta's headband, which excites him even more. Later, Asta finds his room in a terrible condition, but is still happy because it's his own space, something he's never had before. He starts cleaning it up. Before leaving, Magna tells Asta to write a letter to his village. After cleaning his room, Asta writes a letter home. Meanwhile, Yuno also gets his room, but due to his humble background, he faces some remarks from his team, even though his tutor is quite strict. However, Yuno handles it well, as expected. The next day, a letter from Yuno arrives at the church, making the father very happy. He rushes to the village to share the news, still wondering about Asta. He assumes Asta must have returned and suggests cheering him up, but the sister informs him that Asta has actually joined a squad. Hearing this, everyone is shocked, and the father goes off to share the news with the others. The next morning, Asta, full of excitement, gets up to start his day. However, as soon as he opens his door, he bumps into a wall, which wasn't there the day before. Magna then shows up and tells him that the castle actually shifts around on its own. He offers to give Asta a tour of the castle, and Asta eagerly agrees. Magna first shows him the dining hall, and then they take a bath together. Afterward, he takes Asta to the beast room, which is Yami's hobby room for collecting things. Magna makes Asta the newest insect in the collection and challenges him to try and feed the beasts. He continues showing Asta all sorts of strange things around the castle. As they walk around, they suddenly stop upon seeing a girl. Magna tells Asta that she's new as well. Asta, hearing this, excitedly approaches her, but the girl, being a noble, doesn't respond kindly. She introduces herself as Noelle Silva, and Asta is shocked to learn she is a royal. He starts bowing before her, but Noelle gets angry, questioning why he's treating her that way. Asta replies that he doesn't care if she's royal or not, which makes Noelle furious. She retaliates by attacking him with her magic, but her attack ends up hitting Magna instead. Magna gets angry and asks if she doesn't know how to respect her seniors. Noelle retorts that she's a royal, but Magna, being Magna, dismisses the importance of her status, saying he doesn't care how royal she is. Hearing this, Noelle throws her robe on the ground and threatens to quit the squad, saying that joining such a squad means nothing to a royal like her. She storms off, leaving Asta behind. Later, while wandering around, Asta comes across a large, strange-looking bubble. Curious, he approaches and sees Noelle practicing alone. Asta observes that she's struggling to hit her target, which makes him realize that her older brother might have refused to take her into his squad, and that she probably faces harsh treatment from her family because of it. Noelle, frustrated and angry, continues practicing. When she notices Asta watching, she assumes he's going to mock her. Before he can say anything, she tries to attack him, but ends up trapping herself in her own magic. Meanwhile, Yami, stepping out of the toilet, notices a large water bubble outside the window and realizes that Noelle has lost control of her magic. The others see it too and understand they can't attack to save her, as it would hurt her. Finral also can't use his teleportation magic to help from inside the bubble. Yami says they need someone who can cancel magic. At that moment, Asta comes flying towards the bubble, and Yami tells him to do something. Asta agrees, but asks how he's supposed to reach the bubble. Yami, not wanting to hear any excuses, throws Asta towards it. Asta then uses his sword to break Noelle's magic, saving her. As they both start falling, Finral uses his teleportation magic to catch them, saving them from the fall. After they land, Asta thanks Finral and then approaches Noelle. She assumes he's going to scold her, but instead, Asta tells her that her magic is incredibly powerful and impressive. It just needs a little training. He encourages her to work hard to master it. Magna adds that Noelle was trying to leave because she can't control her magic, but reassures her that it's no problem since everyone in the Black Bulls has their own issues. Hearing this, the others also offer their support. Hearing all this, Noelle becomes emotional and agrees to work with them. Next, Asta starts cleaning the entire house, including the library and the clothes, all by himself. After that, he has to go wake up Yami, who swears at him before sending him back. Once Asta finishes all his chores, he realizes that this is the kind of work he used to do back at the church. During breakfast, Asta asks Noelle why she doesn't help out, to which he responds that as a royal, she doesn't do such tasks. Asta then asks everyone else what exactly their jobs are. Hearing this, Magna gets angry and asks if Asta doesn't know that they protect the city. After scolding him, Magna leaves, and the others start explaining in their own ways what they actually do. Their answers leave Asta and Noelle even more confused. After the meal, Charmy uses her magic to summon some sheep to cook for everyone. Later, Gray briefly shape-shifts into Asta, suggests working together, and then leaves. Finally, Yami bursts through a door, calls Magna to go outside, and Asta tries to join them. However, Magna refuses, saying it's a serious matter and Asta can't come along. After they leave, Asta imagines they must be going on a dangerous mission. But in reality, the two are just gambling, eventually losing even their underwear. When they have nothing left, Yami suggests one last game, proposing that if they win, they get everything back, but if they lose, he'll hand over his grimoire. Shocked, Magna and the other man try to stop him, but Yami insists. The other man agrees, adding that if Yami loses, he must do whatever the winner says. Magna, thinking Yami would never agree to such terms, is surprised when Yami does. Meanwhile, as Asta and Noelle are feeding the beasts, Yami and Magna return, laughing loudly. They explain that the other man had a great hand at the end. Seeing them, Noelle becomes embarrassed because they're still not wearing anything. After they put on clothes, Yami announces their first mission, which involves catching some boars. When Noelle asks why, Yami explains that they lost a bet and now have to do what the man said. Chase the boars away from his village since they are destroying the crops. When Asta and Noelle ask why they have to do it since they weren't the ones who lost, Magna points out that Yami isn't going to do it himself. Yami then stands up and says it's a do-or-die situation, and they reluctantly agree to help. After Yami leaves, Noelle starts complaining, making Magna angry. But Asta is actually happy and excited about the mission. Magna then agrees to keep an eye on them during the mission. They ask Finral to open a portal to the location, but he refuses, saying he can't because he's never been there before. So, they decide to fly there on brooms. However, Asta admits he can't fly on a broom, and Noelle adds that she can't control her magic. This frustrates Magna even more, but he decides to show them how to ride his baby, which impresses Asta, though Noelle remains unimpressed. As they fly through the air, they all start having fun. But when Asta grabs Noelle, she throws him off the broom. Magna manages to save him just in time. Meanwhile, we see some people arriving at the village through a portal. As the boars attack them, one man freezes the boars with his magic and orders his men to search the village for a magic stone. Afterward, he easily blows the frozen boars away. When Asta, Magna, and Noelle arrive at the village, Asta ends up fighting the boars alone, while the other two just watch. Seeing Asta struggle, Noelle tries to help, but accidentally hits Asta instead of the boar. Asta ends up defeating the boar by himself, but more boars arrive. He manages to defeat them too, and starts dragging them back to the village, thinking they could trade them for something. As they continue, Magna tells Asta about his past, how he was a delinquent kid, and the village chief used to discipline him because of his bad behavior. Magna fought back, but the chief always taught him a lesson while also training him to become a real man. It was because of the chief that Magna decided to take the Magic Knight entrance exam, and that's how he ended up where he is today. When they reach the village, they find it covered in a thick mist. Asta initially thinks it's just bad weather, but Noelle explains that it's actually magic and that they won't be able to see anything inside it. Realizing something bad is happening, Magna tells Asta to use his sword to cut through the mist. Asta hesitates, unsure if he can do it, but Magna insists. Asta gives it a try and manages to cut through the mist, allowing them to enter the village. As they proceed further, they find the villagers held captive with large blocks of ice hanging over them. The man from earlier decides to kill the villagers by dropping the ice on them, but Magna rushes in and stops it just in time. The villagers are overjoyed to see Magna. However, when Magna asks what's going on, the villagers sadly reveal that the chief has been killed. Angered, Magna confronts the villains, asking if they were responsible. They reply that this wasn't part of their plan, so they have to kill everyone now. As the man attacks, Magna is paralyzed with shock, but Asta steps in and stops the attack. The man then realizes they are from the Black Bull Squad, a group not particularly well known. As Asta moves to attack, one of the man's followers surrounds him with mist, but Asta quickly disperses it. The villain, now understanding how they got inside the mist, asks why they attacked. The man then explains that he wants to eliminate the village because, according to him, rich people live in the upper realm, middle-class people in the common realm, and the lowest of the low live in the Forsaken realm, which includes this village. He believes the villagers are worthless, only surviving by using their meager magic, and therefore they hold no value in his eyes. Hearing this, Asta recalls his past, where Sister Lily told him how the rich, who possess immense magical power, live above and look down upon people like them. Angered by this, Asta says that he will do anything to keep them safe. However, as he speaks, he summons ice all around and claims that he can produce as much ice as he wants. As he attacks them, Asta tries to stop him, but the villain keeps attacking, and they're just trying to hold him back because he is very powerful. Noelle is unable to do anything and starts feeling very disheartened, but then she motivates herself, thinking that she is a royal and cannot die here. At that moment, a sleeping child tells her that she can help save them, and upon seeing this, a new spell appears in her book. She casts it, and a large water shield emerges. She says that she is a royal and a member of the Black Bulls. Everyone, including the villain, is impressed by her power. Meanwhile, Asta prepares to attack the villain, but is thwarted because the villain created ice under his feet, making him slip and slow down. The villain then attacks Asta with his ice magic. After dealing with him, the villain goes to Noelle's water shield and starts making ice, which makes Magna think that Noelle doesn't have enough magical power to handle this, but she has to do so. Meeting. Just then, Asta tries to attack the villain, but before he can act, the villain attacks him. Despite this, Asta refuses to give up and keeps attacking. The villain is surprised by his determination, and this reminds Magna of his past, where a villain named Schiff had also given him a book and trained him, teaching him not to give up. Motivated by this memory, Magna decides to fight. When the villain tells Asta to surrender, Asta declares that he will not give up because he aims to become the Wizard King and cannot let them down. Hearing this, Magna emerges and says that the real man has arrived. He then launches an ultimate attack which the villain easily blocks, claiming that it was just his ultimate attack. After the attack, Magna becomes weak, and the villain attacks him. However, Asta reflects the attack back using his magic, and Noelle also uses her magic to save Magna, showing that it is no big deal for her, but feeling very happy inside. When the villain is attacked, his ice magic starts to emerge. Asta comes back to attack him and absorbs his magic, and upon seeing this, the villain thinks it's impossible. After defeating the villain, Magna binds everyone with his fire. After defeating the villain, Asta falls unconscious, and Magna quickly goes to him, realizing he is just sleeping. As they discuss why the villain came, a bird emerges from Asta's pocket and brings a magical stone-like object. When the villain wakes up, Magna asks him why he came here. The villain remains silent, and Magna says he will find out. Hearing this, the villain sacrifices himself with his followers before they can do anything. Asta remarks that this sacrifice means nothing, as he can never understand it. After everything is resolved, Magna meets a little girl who explains how the village chief did everything to save the villagers. They then go to motivate a depressed child. Suddenly the bird came and starts pecking Asta and gives him a strange crystal, and the child says it's something Schiff used to keep. Asta decides to return it, but the child says it's okay as he saved their village. Asta agrees, but the bird continues to bother him. The scene shifts to a dungeon, and we see the follower who managed to escape from the village giving information about Black Bull to someone in shadows, and then someone from Golden Dawn emerges from the shadows. The scene shifts to Black Bull base, and we see Yami laughing after listening to the whole incident, and Asta and Noelle are confused, but then Yami praises them as they saved a village, and we see Magna saluting Yami, but Asta is confused about what he was doing. Then Magna yells at Asta, as he didn't even know how magic knights salute their captains. Finral and Vanessa arrive at the scene and tell that they didn't find anything about the man they defeated. Hearing this, Magna blows a hole in wall, which makes Yami more angry, and he makes a bigger hole in wall, but after that he informs them that Wizard King recognized their effort and gave them a star. Here Asta learns that whenever they do something good, they receive a star from Wizard King, and currently Golden Dawn has most stars, total 70. Out of curiosity, Asta asks Yami, "How many stars do we have?" And Yami replied, -30. So they need 100 stars to reach Golden Dawn. Asta gets depressed as he is way away from reaching Yuno. Yami then gives squad member their salary, which makes Asta really happy, and he decides to send it all back to the church. Vanessa then suggests that he keeps them for himself and takes them shopping. The next day, Vanessa, Noelle, and Asta go shopping in the capital city. When Asta catches Noelle in the act, she throws him out. Once they arrive, Asta is very happy after seeing the capital city and thinks of bringing the others from the crutch too. They see all the Black Bulls members busy with their work, and as Asta is very happy, Vanessa and Noelle overhear them talking about them. Vanessa buys something for them and leads them into an alley. When they reach the end, Vanessa tells them to go ahead and enters a wall, and they follow her inside, discovering a black market with cheap goods. They also see Magna there, gambling and complaining about his squad's losses. Vanessa and Noelle try a magical necklace that might help Noelle control her magic, but it doesn't work, and water attack falls on Sek. He is not upset and starts flirting with them, but the girls are not interested. When Asta arrives and Sek was shocked to see him with the two beautiful girls. Magna then shares about his first mission, where they received a star from the Wizard King. The information surprises everyone. As they were talking, an old lady was robbed by a thief who steals her money. Asta chases the thief, but Sek thinks that Asta is trying to take all the credit and follows them, which is weird magic bike. Asta uses his sword to break the thief's cloud, causing him to fall. Suddenly Sek arrives and start laughing on Thief, but the thief stabs a knife in his leg and casts a spell, which caused Sek to fall down, and he starts thinking that he is dying, but Asta tells him to stay strong. Vanessa intervenes, nullifying the weak spell. Sek is embarrassed but recovers, and they put Thief in jail. Now as Asta and the others leave, and it is revealed that the old lady was Julius Navacorno, the current Wizard King, who was impressed by Asta's power. That's it for part 1, guys. Make sure to subscribe for part 2.